Forget defund police. Now it's devoid of police. The entire police force in one Minnesota town, including the police chief, just submitted their resignations. Marianne Rafferty is live with what this town plans to do about safety. Marianne, good evening.
Well, the chief said it's certainly not for lack of trying. He says he's actually been looking all over. He says he's yet to receive a single application.
Like I said, this has been 3 weeks now. We got 0 applicants, and I have 0 prospects. I've called every PD around for the youngest guys out there getting into the game. There's nobody getting into the game.
And that's left residents and city leaders in the small town of Goodhue, Minnesota, worried about whether they'll be left on their own after the chief and his entire department resigned 3 weeks ago.
I think we're all a little bit blindsided by it, but we're resilient. And we're going to move forward. But it is hard.
Despite the lack of sign-ups for those open police jobs, Mayor Ellen Buck says there will be a police force, while Police Chief Josh Smith cautions they need to act now.
I want to reiterate that we will have police coverage in the city of Goodhue. That is not an issue.
If you want to keep the PD, and this is something where we want to continue going with, something that needs to change dramatically and drastically, and it's got to happen now.
And the clock is running out. The chief is planning to go ahead and make his exit in just 1 week on August 24th.
Yeah, it's amazing. Marianne, thank you. Let's bring in former Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva and class action attorney and host of the Once Upon a Crime in Hollywood podcast, Kelly Hyman. Welcome to you both. I mean, Sheriff, I can't imagine this. I want to play this soundbite again from the police chief in Goodhue. Not a big town, but it's 10 seconds and it's well worth it because he makes a very vital point. Watch.
We got 0 applicants, and I have 0 prospects. I've called every PD around for the youngest guys out there getting into the game. There's nobody getting into the game.
0 applications, Sheriff, for this, and it's amazing, but really, who wants to join a team with no money and no backing from the politicians?
Well, today, now all the chickens have come home to roost. From 2020 on forward, Democratic leadership in particular demonized law enforcement, moved to defund them, discredit them in every which way possible. Who in their right mind would want to take on a job that is perceived that everybody's going to hate? So, of course, people are not going to start applying.
Right.
But cops continue to retire. So the attrition rate is just killing it across the entire nation.
You're exactly right. And Kelly, you know, you can't do your job until the sheriff does his job, and he can't do his job without people under him trying to protect people.
Yes, and we have to look at what is the issue here. The issue is about being paid.
Right.
According to the police officers, they're being paid $22 an hour, but in the community, other officers are paid $30 an hour. So it's only fair that they are compensated. They put their life on their line, and they should be paid fairly.
Yeah. I want to put this up. This is the sheriff actually tipped us off on this video. This is in Hacienda Heights. This is a robbery, a purse snatching. And watch this, because this robber, look at him, he drags this woman who's holding onto her purse across the sidewalk. That's one. They go after him. He goes, he gets away. Here's Nordstrom, the mob. We've been playing this. It went viral. It is crazy. This is Nordstrom, and also in Southern California. They took hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. This one you have not seen, Sheriff, because we just got it in. It's brand new. It's a San Francisco car, okay? What they're doing is they are going out of the car. This one's person is following them. They go in, they bust a window, they get back in the car. They steal what they can, they get back in the car, and they keep going. They know somebody is videotaping them, and they don't care. They continue to go, and it happens all the time. Your thoughts on this, Sheriff?
Well, you have Prop 47, which in California decriminalize a lot of crime and reduce from felonies to misdemeanors, one part of the coin. The other side was progressive prosecutors like George Gascon, a co-author of Prop 47, decided, I'm not going to even prosecute the misdemeanors. So what you don't prosecute, you legalize. They are legalized in the activity you're looking at.
Yeah, it's just amazing because we see this all the time, Kelly. I mean, and it's, again, it's 0 consequences like the sheriff says there. But some of these people, I mean, they're vicious. They're hurting people. The 0 bail. They're right back out on the street, and they're doing these things. And these gangs know exactly that there's no consequences, so they just continue doing this.
Well, no one is above the law. right? And in the court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty, but people need to be accountable for their actions. And so legally speaking, they need to be held accountable for the harm that they did and the crime that they did.
Yeah, well, this guy dragging the woman across the thing, he looks pretty guilty to me. Those people in the Nordstrom looked awfully guilty, and the people banging out those windows looked awfully guilty. So the California Highway Patrol is trying to do a little something about this, right? They have organized this retail task force. It's in Fresno and Kern County in the eastern part of California. They're setting up, I guess, stings, for lack of a better phrase, Sheriff. Here's the chief, Rodney Ellison, the head of the CHP Central Division. Watch him.
These operations were unfortunately busy with suspects brazenly attempting to steal various products from a variety of stores. These suspects were apprehended after close observations and obvious attempts to leave the stores with stolen product.
I wonder what you think about the CHP doing these things. Is it helpful? Is it going to be something that will make an impact on the crime that we are seeing statewide?
It won't at all. One thing is that Gavin Newsom refused to meet with the California State Sheriff's Association. They're independently elected. They don't own anything to him, and he's afraid to speak to them. So he'll go to the chiefs of police who are appointed, to the CHP who appoints the chief, and say, hey, you guys go do that.
Yeah.
That is totally out of their wheelhouse, and they're lost in that. They should stick to traffic and patrolling the highways, leave retail theft to local sheriff's department and police departments.
Yeah. Kelly, your final thoughts on this?
My final thoughts is we have wonderful police officers that serve and protect us, and we are very thankful, and they put their life on the line, and so they are key for all of us.
Yeah, we could use more of them. That's the thing. Kelly, Sheriff, thank you both.
You got it.